Question answer on soil we are taking. First is, in addition to rock particles, the soil contains what? The answer is this one: minerals, organic matter, air and water. The water holding capacity is the highest in dash. The answer is clay soil. Clay soil. We have to match 1 with 2 column. So home of living organisms is all kind of soil. Upper layer of the soil is dark in color. The sandy soil has large particles. The middle layer of the soil has a lesser amount of humus, and clay soil the smallest particles and packed type. Explain how soil is formed. See, there are rocks and there is a process which is called the weathering of the rock, and this is simply breakdown of the rock by the action of blowing air, that is wind, and water. So this is a very slow process, and it occurs all the time in the environment. And this soil formation is actually two-step process. First, this weathering of rocks is taking place. Very minute particles, very micro level particles are being produced with the air or wind striking the water striking the rocks. Now rock is broken into these smaller pieces, and these small particles, they mix with the organic matter which is called as humus, and they form soil. Next is, how is clay soil useful for crops? Now this clay soil has huge amount of humus or organic matter. That is why it is very fertile, and that is why we use it to grow cereals like wheat and gram. So this soil is good for retaining water. For paddy, the soils rich in clay and organic matter having good capacity to retain water is ideal. When we talk about lentils, masoor, or you can include various pulses in this, the loamy soils which can drain water easily, this is what is required. List the difference between clay soil and sandy soil. So clay soil and sandy soil. In the clay soil, the ratio of fine particles are quite higher. Here we have large particles in sandy soil. In clay soil, soil retains water and it becomes sticky and wet like the flour atta when it is being fed with water. Here it is loose particles, the air permeates through the soil. In clay soils, this is suitable for crops like paddy, wheat and gram. In the sandy soil, it is suitable for vegetables, peanuts and cotton cultivation. In clay soil, it's very difficult, it becomes very difficult to plow when it is wet, having water in it. But because it is a sandy soil, this dries up quite easily, and because it cannot retain water. Sketch the cross section of soil and label the various layers. So let me show you first. This is the first layer, which is A horizon, B, this is B, and this is C, and this is D. So what happens here is, see, this is very tough with rock, and this is not very tough, but it has humus, etc. So we'll take one by one. The vertical section which you just saw through different layers of soil is known as soil profile. So each layer, it differs in feel, it means the way you touch or feel or texture, the color, the depth and the chemical composition of each layer is different. And these layers, they are known as horizons. So first is the uppermost layer, which you just saw is generally dark in color because it has huge amount of organic matter, humus, and also it contains minerals. The humus makes the soil fertile and it provides nutrients to growing the plants, and the layer is generally soft, porous, and this can retain some more water. And since this is a topsoil, we call it as a topsoil or the A horizon. Then the next one, the next layer has lesser amount of humus but more minerals. So this layer is rather more hard and more compact. We call it as B horizon or middle layer. The third layer is C horizon, which is made up of very small lump of rocks which has cracks and crevices. Then we have bedrock, that is the fourth one, and this is hard and difficult to dig with spade because it contains a lot of rocks. Razia conducted an experiment in the field related to the rate of percolation. She observed that it takes 40 minutes for 200 ml of water to percolate through the soil sample. You have to calculate the rate of percolation. So rate of percolation is simple amount of water divided by percolation times. Amount of water by percolation time. So this is 200 ml and this is 40 minutes. So 200 ml by 40 is 5 ml per minute. Explain how soil pollution and soil erosion could be prevented. Most important is that we need to have plants. So if we need to prevent the soil pollution, we can use the manures instead of using the harmful chemical fertilizers, and all the industrial waste, they have to be treated, their acids have to be neutralized before we can even release it to any water or any other place. We have to avoid sincerely, religiously the polythene and plastic because they are non-biodegradable, so they should not get mixed in soil. Prevention of soil erosion, how we can do that? The first is we need to grow plants, that is we have to cut down the amount of large scale forest cutting. We have to avoid overgrazing of grassland. Only the areas which have that amount of grass needs to be fed to the animals, and use of step farming in hilly region, this would be very beneficial. Now solving this crossword puzzle, we have various clues. So plantation preserves it, that is soil erosion kind of thing it is being asked. Use should be banned to avoid soil pollution. You can add plastic if it is there, if it suffices. Type of soil like clay and living organisms in the soil. In desert, soil erosion occurs through clay and loam are suitable for cereals like this, and this type of soil can hold very little water. Sandy, collection name of layers of soil. So this is the answer. This is wind, erosion, sandy, polythene, profile, clay, earthworm and wheat. So this is